Hello everyone, welcome to the Human Reviews channel, and today we are doing All Things Must Pass. This is the first Beatles solo album that I am actually recording my reaction to, as opposed to just being sent in the albums on stream. Chivo has requested that Chivo has a wheel of albums that he can spin for free on my streams because he edits videos for me, so he just gets like free reactions and whatnot to whatever the fuck he wants me to listen to. And this was one of the albums on there, and it landed on this album. And I realized how long it was, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing this on a stream, I'll just make it its own recording session. So, yeah, I'm actually recording this one. Again, as always with these, thank you to Chivo for editing this video, okay? Preemptive thank you to Chivo for editing this one, because this is going to be a monster of a video to edit. I'm talking like probably 3 hours of recording. So, yeah, it's time to strap in, buckle up, and get ready, because this is going to be a long fucking listen. People glazed this album to the earth and back. It's got an 89 user score on Album of the Year, which I think places it in the top 100 albums in terms of user score. This is widely regarded as the best Beatles solo album. It's regarded as better than most Beatles albums across the board. People love this album to such an insane extent, to the point where I'm going into this with very high expectations, but also very worried, because if I don't like this, then I'm going to be so disappointed. I'm going to be so sad. I've heard a couple tracks off of this album. Obviously, My Sweet Lord. I've heard Let It Down, Run of the Mill. I think there's another song that I've heard, but just on a different mix that I can't see on here. So yeah, I've heard a couple of tracks off of this, but obviously never the entire project in full. Yeah, let's just get straight into this. This album came out in 1970. How many songs is this fucking thing? Hold on, I gotta count this across the different discs. This is 23 songs, an hour and 43 minutes. That's a lot of songs. It's a lot of songs. I am, of course, going to be keeping track of my scores and shit down here on this notepad. With that being said, enough stalling, enough yapping. Let's get straight into this shit. Track 1, I'd Have You Anytime. Oh, Bob Dylan wrote this? That's pretty cool. You Hate Me If I Hate This album? I don't think I will. I've enjoyed every song that I've heard off of it. Oh, it's co-written by George and Bob, okay.
Say
82 predicted score. Right, you guys, predict what score I'm gonna give this. The numbers don't really matter, but predict what score I'm gonna give this. And I'm gonna spoil it, it's not gonna be a 10. Okay, so don't guess a 10. Oh my god. There is so much in this document, holy shit. Can I watch a vid before the next? Oh Jesus, you're getting me to do my homework. Alright. Derek and the Dominoes and Badfinger? Damn. I'm guessing it's Ringo playing on this as well, right? Ringo played on like all of the early Beatles solo shit. Still part of the album though. If I skip it just for the sake of giving the album a better score, then that creates bias. Very pretty opener. Very sweet little piece to have to start off this album. It sort of sees George Harrison in a bit more of a mellow state. After the breakup of the Beatles, it's also seemingly a love song. Yeah, he's talking about just wanting to be let into this person's heart and they'd have them anytime. It's a sweet opener. It's not the most like mind-blowing song on the planet, but I think it is just a delightful, pretty, instrumentally satisfying way to start this off. And I would give this song give it like a solid 8.5. Very strong way to start. I gotta watch a video before we listen to My Sweet Lord. Okay, Chivo is man in the ship this time. He's telling me what I need to know first. Okay, so we're gonna watch this video and just pray it doesn't get me copyrighted.
But a reimagining of what an album could be. In this album, George flourished.
It's very pretentious.
In his own domain and shares with us one of the best collections of solo Beatles songs we've ever seen. Today, we're going to show you 10 very interesting facts about George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. Let's do this. Many of the songs that ended up on All Things Must Pass were
I didn't know
actually written
this.
by
I didn't
George
know
while
this.
he was still in the Beatles. However, since George was always in the shadows of John and Paul, these songs went unheard for years. Phil Spector, who co-produced the album, says the following about George's stockpile of songs.
Oh, Phil Spector produced
I went to
this.
George's Friar Park, and he said, I have a few ditties for you to hear. It was endless. The album is charged with Beatles breakup and tension references. When George
As all of
briefly
the early
quit the
Beatles albums
in
are.
January of
Sorry, early
1969,
Beatles soloists,
he went
I
to
mean.
his home to write Wah Wah. In fact, Wah Wah was George's way of saying headache. George says the following about this song. There's a scene where Paul and I are having an argument, and we're trying to cover it up. Then the next scene, I'm not there, and Yoko's just screaming, doing her screeching number. Well, that's where I'd left, and I went home to write Wah Wah. It had been giving me a Wah Wah. Like, I had such a headache with the whole argument. It was such a headache. Another song that makes references to the tension within the Beatles is Run of the Mill. If you listen to the lyrics, you can hear lines such as the days stand up on end, you've got me wondering how I lost your friendship. This lyric and many others are sad signs pointing to
Beatles
the
documentary,
crumbling
which one?
friendships amongst the Beatles. All
And
Things
the
Must
answer to
Pass
all of them
the
is
most
no.
successful Beatles solo album. The album single My Sweet Lord was the first Beatles solo single to go #1 in the UK and in the US. Additionally, the album stayed at #1 on the charts for 7 weeks, and it has sold more copies than Paul McCartney and John Lennon's first solo albums combined.
The
The
9-hour
numerical
one? Yeah, I'm
success of
good.
All Things Must Pass
I'm
helps
alright.
us understand why it's also one of the most culturally significant albums
Peter
of all
Jackson?
time. Its incorporation of ideas regarding Eastern spirituality impacted the consciousness of the same young generation who had been fans of the Beatles during their Sgt. Pepper psychedelic days. The Beatles informally recorded the album.
Listen, I really want to get pissed at this guy for how pretentious he's talking about this album. But listen, I talk about fucking swans in the same way. I can't complain.
Title track All Things Must Pass. The band rehearsed the song during their sessions for Let It Be album.
Fuck no, it's 9
But it was never
hours.
officially recorded. Although it was rejected by the
It
band and
reimagined
tossed from the final
albums, there you
album,
go.
the song did undergo lyrical changes at the hands of the Beatles. For example, John suggested changing the word win to mind and to add some psychedelia and spirituality. I highly suggest searching for snippets of the Beatles rehearsing All Things Must Pass on the internet and giving them a listen. All Things Must Pass is a triple album and is often credited as rock's first triple album ever. The
Oh,
first
it's an
two
epic.
LPs
Okay.
consists of the main body of the song.
Why didn't you lead with that? I thought you just meant it's one 9-hour like film or something. Okay, 9 1-hour episode, that's more doable.
Songs, and the third LP called Apple Jam consists of the informal jams. Klaus Vormann, who played bass on some of the album's tracks, says the following about these jam sessions. Those jams happened all the time. You know, we were very relaxed. There was no pressure and we had time to jam as we warmed up. Or after we did a track. It was never organized. Somebody would just start playing something. We'd all join in and started jamming around. In the end, George had a whole tape of this stuff. He knew from all the past sessions that so many things were just forgotten. So this time he thought he'd just keep the machine on. All of the tracks on Apple Jam were improvised and are instrumentals except the song called It's Johnny's Birthday. This song was a gift from George to John Lennon for his 30th birthday. Bob Dylan has a huge presence on All Things Must Pass. First, the song
Good. I
I'd
love
Have
Bob
You
Dylan.
Anytime was co-written with Dylan while the two were at Woodstock. Lastly, George wrote Behind That Locked Door about Dylan, who was making a return to live performing as a way to encourage and support him. The song reflects George's love of his friend and esteem of his work. George was sued for copyright infringement for the album's most popular song, My Sweet Lord. A suit was filed against him based on the grounds that George had copied the melody from the Chiffons' hit song, He's So Fine. After admitting he had heard the song before, the court ruled that George had subconsciously copied the melody, and he was fined $1.6 million. All Things Must Pass was co-produced by...
Fucking hell. In the 60s, even now getting sued for 1.6 million is crazy. In the 60s? Holy shit.
Phil Spector, the same producer that produced the Beatles' album Let It Be. However, Spector is said to have acted very
Spector didn't only produce Let It Be. Did he? Spector did the rest of the Beatles stuff, I thought. Did he not? Oh, he only did Let It Be, and then he did the compilation albums and some Beatles solos. Oh, George, yeah. I'm mixing him up with George Martin. That's my bad.
Radically during recording sessions, leaving George to do much of the production work himself. George jokingly, or not, recalls that Spector would have 18 cherry brandies before he could get himself down to the studio. Additionally, similar to Paul's claim that Let It Be was being overproduced, George has admitted disliking of Spector's heavy mixing for All Things Must Pass. Many notable
George
musicians
Martin
played on All Things Must Pass.
produced Abbey Road, okay? One of the best produced albums ever. So I got to put respect on his name. That is my bad.
To the album's production. With this impressive lineup of musicians, it's no wonder why this album was such a success. All Things Must Pass proved to listeners that George Harrison was a powerhouse of a songwriter and a force to be reckoned with in rock and roll. The musically and lyrically brilliant songs demonstrated how crucial George was during the days of the Beatles and how crucial he would be for shaping the future of music. The album influenced...
Is this what it's like to listen to me talk about swans? Is this what it's like? This is some fucking glazing right here. Holy shit.
Influenced countless artists and musical genres, as well as continued to spread the gospel of love and spirituality to mainstream media that had been established in the mid-60s. With this album, George simultaneously claimed his independence from the Beatles and impacted social consciousness and the world of music. That's all for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can follow us here, and I'll see you next time.
He's portraying himself as a Beatle. Is this like a Beatles dedicated channel? This is a channel almost entirely dedicated to the Beatles. He's done some other stuff, but it's mostly Beatles. I couldn't cope with just talking about one band for the rest of my life. I couldn't cope with that. So, that video provided some context, but that guy's overhyping this album, okay? I don't overhype OK Computer as much as that guy has just overhyped All Things Must Pass, okay? If I react to the docs, I'll hit 5k subs. I will never do anything for numbers. Never. I'm not reacting to the documentaries. I will provide nothing. It will be boring. It will be me sat there in silence. I'm not doing that. Chivo has sent me a playlist of what is apparently all of the best mixes for this album. All of the most up-to-date, all of the best sounding, all of the most pristine versions of these songs. So, I will have the best listening experience. Okay, so that means if I hate this... that's bad aim. Alright. Album's off to a good start. Track 1 is an 8.5. We will continue with a song I've already heard, My Sweet Lord. There's a Bob Dylan song in here. Is that actually on the album? Oh, I see. Okay. You think you like the sound more than most people? Most people say this is like the best shit ever made. And with this song, they're not lying. This song is amazing. Yeah. People glazed this album to the fucking moon and back, dude. See, there we go, top 10 album of all time. On this track, it's George Harrison, Eric Clapton, Billy Preston. Holy shit. Hell of a lineup for this song. Yeah, there's an 11-minute song on this album, which I'm interested about. The 2025 mix, that's what I'm saying. One of the most interesting riffs I've ever heard. So strange. You're glad George plagiarized this song? Yeah, same. This song is undeniably like a fucking masterpiece, okay? Yeah. I've heard this song a lot, okay? Everyone's heard this song a lot. Is this his biggest song? Yeah, this is his biggest song by quite a decent margin, and I can see why. This song is anthemic, it's huge, it is glorious, it is breathtaking, it has some of the most one of the most interesting riffs I've ever heard on the chorus, where the guitar does that weird fucking descending thing. It's so strange. On top of these absolutely gorgeous backing harmonies. And some of the best production ever. Seriously, this shit is insanely produced. Can I check some of the chiffons? He's so fine. That's actually the next thing that's on this playlist. I'm going to check out a little bit of it. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. This song is probably going to end up being the best thing on this album. I do think this song is a 10. I think this song is... It's probably as good as this album's gonna get. I don't imagine it getting any better than this. This shit is a genuine masterpiece. Stop glazing, shut the fuck up. Listen, when I give a Paul McCartney album a 7, I'm being too harsh. When I give this a 10, I'm glazing. What do you people want from me? Okay, this song's a masterpiece. It's incredible. It's My Sweet Lord by George Harrison, okay? It's like the best shit ever made. The original mix is all full of muddy. Thank God we have remixes. This production is fantastic. Up next, we'll play a little bit of He's So Fine. I'm not gonna play the whole song, but we'll play a little bit of it just for some context, because I haven't actually heard this, I don't think.
He's so fine. Wish she were mine.
Oh.
That handsome boy.
Okay, that is pretty similar. Listen, okay, listen, I'm not gonna accuse George of stealing, but listen, maybe it might be plagiarism, but it's good plagiarism, okay? Rare plagiarism W, okay? Next track we have Wawa. This is the song about Yoko fucking yapping her brains out or something, isn't it? And it gives him a Wawa. Alright, let's see who played on this one. Yeah, 1.6 million was taking the piss a little bit, yeah. Oh, same lineup as last time. George Harrison, Eric Clapton, Billy Preston, Ringo, Jim Price. Okay. Oh, this one's about Paul, okay. Damn. Vocal production is spotless. Layering's incredible. Yeah, I did hear about that he was like, sort of in and out of the band a good bit during Let It Be. Yeah, the drum sounds amazing. It's like as good as they sounded on Abbey Road in my opinion. Phil Spector is doing a great job at capturing some of that George Martin charm. Damn, the fucking brass being added in here as well. You know what this album feels like? This album so far feels like after George Harrison has been so restricted in the Beatles, he's been so just like limited in what he's been allowed to do. They've not let him do what he wants. This album is just like letting everything out. He's like, thank fuck, I can finally do what I want. And he's just putting everything on the table. Seriously, I'm so impressed. Like, I went into this with high expectations, but this shit's incredible. This feels like the biggest, like, fuck you to the Beatles imaginable. And I respect the hell out of that. This guitar solo is really sweet. Getting more of the brass in there as well, nice. George, a very underrated guitar player. Wasn't there that like Rolling Stones list that put George Harrison in like the top 50 guitarists? There's also a pretty dog shit list in general. Okay, I'm gonna get my thing that's gonna get people pissed off at me out of the way. My general take on the Beatles is that they are all 7 out of 10 on their instruments. Ringo's a 7 out of 10 drummer, Paul's a 7 out of 10 bassist, John and George are 7 out of 10 guitarists. But they are all, besides Ringo, such great songwriters. Okay, listen, okay. You cannot tell me Ringo was a good songwriter. You call him a good drummer. I agree with you that he's good. Dude, you cannot be at that level of glazing. Okay? His only good written song is Octopus's Garden. But you put them together, and they can create some of the best music ever. Because they are such great songwriters. But, again, he's good. I think he's good. I just don't think... But if I compare him to a lot of other bassists, voices... I'm talking about instruments. They're all great singers. They're all incredible songwriters, with the exception of Ringo. They're just not the greatest on their instruments. That's why I can't really say that, like, oh, they are the best instrumentalists. But you put them as songwriters. Voice is an instrument. I was very obviously not talking about their voice. Choices or technical ability, blend of the two. Blend of the two. Okay, people like to pretend that technical ability doesn't matter at all. I think it does to an extent. It's all about creativity and technical ability and the blend of the two. And variety as well. Again, I say they're 7 out of 10 on their instrument. They're all good. You have to understand, I never say that any of them are bad. I think they are all very good on their instruments and they're able to come up with, like, creative stuff. But it's the songwriting that does it for me, not the instrumentals. It's always the songwriting. The way they play their instruments always serve the song perfectly. That should be an expectation, not an exception. This song is a 9 for me, like a solid 9. Incredible. Holy shit, this album is so good up to this point. This is blowing my mind. It's well produced. It's so well written. Performances across the board are stunning. George Harrison's vocals on this song are amazing. The vocal layering is amazing as well. And this song is like the best middle finger to the Beatles imaginable. This is just him saying, you know what? I'm fed up of you lot. Fuck you. I'm done. Can I listen to 10 seconds of the OG Wah Wah? Jesus Christ, you got me going back and forth between so much shit. Oh my god. Alright, I'll listen to a bit of this 2014 one. Yeah, that sounds like shit. Wow, that's bad. Oh my god. It's so flat. That's fucking atrocious. Jesus. Anyway, let's continue with the good music. Up next we have Isn't It a Pity?
Isn't it a pity?
Version 1? What, is there another version of this on the album? Ah, there is. Okay, I see. On this one, we have the same lineup for the most part. George Harrison, Clapton, Billy Preston, Ringo.
Without thinking anymore. Some things take so long.
Nice, getting some strings in there.
How do I explain? Not too many people can see we're all the same.
This was written in 1966. Found no outlet for it in the Beatles. He tried to introduce it to the band towards the end of the Get Back, Let It Be sessions, but to no avail. That is a bad aim. Coldplay's The Scientist. Wow.
Isn't it a pity? Isn't it a shame? How we break each other's hearts.
Every Oasis song is just a copy of some shit the Beatles did. So I fucking hate Oasis. Well, it's part of the reason that I fucking hate Oasis.
Without thinking anymore.
Master Plan is a masterpiece album. Here's what I had to say about the album. Gave it a 2 out of 10, said it was a masterful piece of ass. That's my take on the Master Plan. Fucking hate that album.
Forgetting to give back.
You know, I'm surprised that the Beatles didn't take this one. This is the most Beatles-feeling song of the bunch so far. That's what I'm saying. This is the most Beatles song so far. This song solos Hey Jude in every way possible. This wouldn't fit in on Revolver, I don't think, but if it was on Let It Be, I think it would fit. Maybe the White Album, actually, yeah. Let It Be, White Album. 50 watching, that's a good aim. Instead of Revolution 9. People have gotten so fucking mad at me for thinking Revolution 9's a good song. I think it's an actually interesting, weird, out there, fun track to end off that album. And people get angry at me for enjoying it. It's like, what?
I would give that genuinely a 10 based on what it was going for, but I would never ever re-listen to that again because it was just that odd and off and weird. That was pretty incredible, but like that's probably something I'm not ever gonna find myself like listening to casually.
It's like there's comments on my White Album video that are like, look at this fucking idiot saying that he likes Revolution 9. This kid has no clue. It's like, so you get pissed at me when I'm not too crazy on a song. But then you get pissed at me when I like a song. Like, the logic is inconsistent. I think the lyrics is a well-written song. The lyrics haven't really been the main takeaway from this album for me up to this point. It's been the sound of this shit. This album sounds perfect. Okay, it's still well-written. Absolutely. Like, I'm guessing this one's about the Beatles as well. Isn't it a pity? Isn't it a shame how we break each other's hearts, cause each other pain? Forgetting to give back, isn't it a pity? Is this song about the Beatles? If it was being recorded during the Let It Be sessions, I would imagine it would be about that, right? Yeah, Phil Spector. I'm much preferring his work here to his work on Let It Be. I think Let It Be sounds okay, but the production on that album, you know, especially compared to, you know, the fact that fucking Abbey Road came out just before it, production on that album isn't the greatest. Then you have this that sounds like as good as Abbey Road. It's pretty fucking impressive. Makes sense though why I brought it up during Let It Be. Yeah. This feels like maybe it wasn't originally about the Beatles, but it seems like recontextualized. That's definitely the way he seems to be portraying this song on this album, especially coming after a song like Wah Wah. I think that song's incredible. For a 7-minute track, it does so much with its runtime. I think that it is consistently engaging. It sounds fresh the entire way through. There's not a single moment of this track where I'm bored or like I feel like it's dragging too much. Having like this 3-minute extended outro on the end as well works so well. Feels like it really hammers the point at the end here, and it makes it so much more impactful, the fact that he's just repeating this shit over and over again. I like this song a lot. I think this song's pretty great. I give it a flat 9. Yeah, this is the strongest start we've had to any Beatles solo album, I think. Like, by a pretty good margin as well. I'm liking this a lot. Next up, What Is Life? The last image for this one.
What I feel, I can't say.
No Ringo on this one. We got Jim Gordon on the drums this time.
Love is there for you any time of day.
No, maybe. I don't really want to do a Ringo album.
And I'll try my best to make everything succeed. But I know
Up to this point, it's looking like all things must pass. I remember McCartney being good, Plastic Ono Band is good, but this... I mean, look at this. These are good numbers right here. Yeah, I disagree that the original mix is better. This sounds so much... I don't know, this just sounds a lot more natural, a lot less muddy. You can feel a lot more of the dynamics on this one as well. People just say this is the best Beatles solo album in general, not just in debut. Is this the one where it's only got in mono? People say that about like every Beatles related thing. Is it not? I thought this was his first one. Oh, it's not. He had 2 albums that people do not give a fuck about before this. His electronic masterpiece. Yeah, he invented electronic music. Wow. Their soundtrack albums? Okay. This is the catchiest song so far. Wonderwall music. God damn it. Oasis reference, guys. I'll never escape Oasis. If this doesn't get at least a 9.5, you're going to be very disappointed. Why do you... Listen, you guys shouldn't care about the numbers. I don't care about the numbers. You guys need to understand, the numbers that I give these songs, the scores that I give them, they're just they're like a book cover of my initial impression, okay? They do not tell the full story. If this gets less than a 9.5, that doesn't matter. Still enjoy the album. I still think this is great up to this point. Leave Noel Alone, he's a great songwriter. Great is probably the most generous word you could possibly use to describe Noel Gallagher. It's the catchiest song so far. I fucking love this one. 9.7. Incredible. Gorgeous. Oh my god, the fucking chorus on this one is anthemic as hell. George Harrison is giving possibly the best vocal performance on the entire album up to this point as well. Yeah, this is like... Bro, this album is exactly what I wanted it to be up to this point. I'm fucking loving this. It's just so fresh, so well produced, so many incredibly catchy, well-written songs. Like, I don't know, I'm just really impressed. I went into this album expecting to not I went in with high expectations, but I went in with the worry that I wasn't going to like it. But I don't know. I think it's still pretty great. Next up we have If Not For You. It's the Bob Dylan cover. Alright. I haven't, no. My mum went to watch it a couple weeks ago. She said it's really good. She doesn't even listen to Bob Dylan. Let's see what we got playing on this one. We got George Harrison, Klaus Voormann, Gary Wright, Billy Preston, Alan White, and Ringo. As a massive Dylan fan, you thought that it was a perfect film? It's getting some Oscar buzz, I'm pretty sure. I think it's nominated for some Oscars. That's pretty cool. Timothy Chalamet was a great casting.
If not for you.
Gotta get the harmonica in there, of course. It's a Bob Dylan cover. Dylan the greatest songwriter? I've not heard enough of his stuff. But he is an incredible songwriter. Ringo clears? Wow. Guys.
If not for you.
Listen, Bob Dylan might be a great songwriter, but Ringo... Okay. That was another delightful, pretty track, keeping up the, I don't know, just keeping up the very nice, surprisingly warm aesthetic of this album. I expected this album to be a lot more bitter than it is. And it's had its moments, like, you know, a lot of references to, you know, his very, you know, tainted relationship with the Beatles. But the album itself has actually been pretty delightful so far. It's been a lot of songs that just feel so inviting and so personal, and it's, I don't know, it's just a very sweet listen up to this point. I'm very surprised by that, especially, you know, going into this thinking it would be a lot more bitter than it is. If Not For You is, like, not the most impressive song on the album up to this point. It didn't, like, blow me away in the same way that a song like What Is Life or Isn't It a Pity did, or anything like that, but I don't know, I still think it's just a great track that keeps up the very floaty, pretty atmosphere of this album, and it works pretty well as a Bob Dylan cover, even though I haven't heard the Bob Dylan version yet, which we're going to play a bit of in just a sec. Give that a high 8. Bob Dylan version, we're going to play a little bit of this. Oh my god, that's so different already. Dylan could never write You're 16? Exactly. I mean, this version sounds pretty great as well.
Babe, I couldn't find the door. Couldn't even see the floor. I'd be sad and blue, but not for you.
I mean, this mix isn't the best, but this still sounds pretty incredible. I mean, Bob Dylan version's great. I'm not going to listen to all of it, but damn, that sounds good. Behind That Locked Door. We have George Harrison, Pete Drake, Klaus Voormann, Gary Wright, Billy Preston, and Alan White on this one.
Your pain is now through. From behind that locked door, with only this short time.
Oh yeah, that actually reminds me. The Beatles won their last ever Grammy for the song that they put out last year. I don't think it was deserved. I don't think they should have won that, but you know, hey, one last Grammy for the Beatles, I suppose. I mean, the song was fine, but a Grammy-winning track? Not really.
quit sure I'm poor.
Yeah.
Please let out my heart.
Yeah.
Please, please, from behind that locked door. From behind that locked door.
Yeah, it feels like he's able to take himself more seriously here. It feels like now that he has full creative control, he is able to actually, like... he feels like he's more fully in his own. It feels like there's a lot more personality here. Like, comparing this to the Beatles, this sort of makes it seem like that there's like an element of discomfort in the Beatles, like he felt a little bit out of place. But here he really is just fully coming into his own. And I love that. Behind that locked door, I kind of have similar feelings on this one that I do for the last one. I just think it's doing a fantastic job of keeping up just how pretty and delightful and easy to listen to this album is. Again, great mixing, gorgeous acoustic guitar. George Harrison just provides such a subtle, inviting, warm vocal performance here. I don't know, I'm liking... there's not been a bad track on this album, so there's not been a song that I can't even say is great up to this point. 8.4. Yeah, that Beatles track now and then, you know, it's nice to see an 80-year-old Paul and Ringo working on a track, doing up an old Beatles song, getting to, you know, hear him, you know, bring back a John Lennon track or whatever. But let's be real, as a song, as an actual song, I don't think it's Grammy material. It's just a pleasant track, and it's nice to get a Beatles song one last time. Giving it a Grammy felt like a little bit too much glazing. Felt like a little bit too much glazing. The John Lennon demo version is better. I've not even heard that, to be fair, so I can't speak to that. Up next we have Let It Down. I've heard this song. I don't remember it though. On this one we got George Harrison, Eric Clapton, Gary Wright, Jim Gordon, Jim Price, Gary Brooker as well. It's another one with a lot of people working on it.
Though you sit in another chair, I can feel you here, looking like I don't care.
You know, this song kind of feels like a callback to My Sweet Lord. There's also stuff in here that's reminding me a lot of that. Like, there was a melody going on in the beginning of this track that sounded a lot like one of the elements of My Sweet Lord, and then this guitar sounds a lot like it as well. Everything about the 80s was shit. I don't know, some good stuff came out of the 80s. Thrash, Depeche Mode, Prince. You got some good stuff out of the 80s. There you go, the 90s were invented in the 80s. Exactly. Swan started in the 80s. So, you know, I have to glaze the 80s. '70s is the best music decade? '70s is pretty good. I don't know, I feel like every decade has its ups and downs, you know? Let's take a look here. I've not really been paying attention to the lyrics on this one. Let It Down speaks of this interpersonal tension. Harrison's lustful desires for earthly pleasures and his conflicting thoughts on more spiritual matters. Lyrically, it finds Harrison torn between wanting to be with his lover and feeling duty-bound towards God. I see. It's about letting it down. There you go. Let It Down. Fun song. I've heard this one before. And I still think it's pretty fucking great. I like this one's a bit more energetic, feels a little bit heavier than some of the previous tracks. Just sort of bringing a little bit more of like a bombastic sort of energy to the album that I really appreciate. It feels like a nice change of pace after the previous two. I give this one like another flat 9, I think. Very good. Very, very good. Up next we got Run of the Mill. Another one I've heard, but I don't really remember. The fact that that song was nearly 5 minutes as well, like just under 5 minutes.
Everyone has choice when to not to raise their voices. Each user decides which way you will turn. No one around you will carry the blame for you. No one around you will love you today and throw it all away tomorrow when you rise. Another day for you to realize me. Oh, send me down again as the days.
Weird time signature stuff going on there. Or at least he's fucking with the rhythm. That threw me off a little bit.
I lost your friendship, but I see it in your eyes. Though I'm beside you, I can't carry the blame for you.
Yeah, the song's going in and out of 4, and it's throwing me off a little bit. Okay, so you get a bit of 6 in there, and then it goes back into 4. Oh, you could count that as 9 actually, because it's a bar of 6 and a bar of 3. I guess that would be in 9/8. Bar of 9/8, sure. Yeah, this one does seem to be about Paul, or just the Beatles in general, talking about lost friendship. Read the Imgur on this one. All right, let's take a look here. I like the words to Run of the Mill. It was the first song I ever wrote that looked like a poem on paper, whereas most of them don't seem much until you put the lyric to the tune. It's like the north of England thing, you know, trouble at mill. Yeah, that's the most northern shit ever. It was when Apple was getting crazy. Ringo wanted it blue, John wanted it white, Paul wanted it green, and I wanted it orange. Paul was falling out with us all and going around Apple offices saying you're no good, everyone was just incompetent. It was that period, the problem of partnerships. I see. Did I know this guy was in the beat? Really? Oh my god, that explains why the music is so dog shit. No, I'm joking. This is pretty great. Yeah, again, just another song about his, you know, very bitter relationship with the Beatles, post-Beatles. This one specifically about Paul and him going around, you know, being a bit pissy at Apple Studios, okay? It's not good. It's not good. That's childlike behavior from Paul. I don't respect that. But no, seriously, this song sounds delightful. I've heard this one before, and again, I still think this is great. I don't know. This is an album that's kind of like speaking for itself. I don't have much to say about this. It's just great. It's just so well put together. It's very just, I don't know. All of this just feels so natural. It feels so from the heart. I just don't have the most to say about this. I think it just sounds fantastic. 9.2. A Ballad of Sir Frankie Craig. That's my name. It's spelled the same way as well. It's not spelled with a Y like the fucking idiots that spell it with a Y. Up next, we have, starting off disc 2, Beware of the Darkness.
Watch out now, take up your word falling.
Plastic Ono Band is solid. Plastic Ono Band is good.
Dropping all around you.
Flaming Pie better. I like Flaming Pie more than Plastic Ono Band. Scores for disc 3. Listen, don't worry about the scores. The scores don't matter.
That is not what you are here for. Watch out now.
Guitar tones on this song are stunning. Jesus Christ. Nice subtle bit of piano in there as well, just sort of adding a bit of texture to this. My opinion slightly differs to that. Okay, you guys will see when the video's out. You'll see when the video's out. The temporary secretary. My opinion on that differs so strongly that it's become a running joke in my live stream chats. So. Nice little solo.
Watch out now.
McCartney 2 has its moments. It's not a bad album. I'm just not too crazy on it personally. It has its moments. Yeah. I disagree. I disagree. Hey, to each their own. Nice. Disc 2 is off to an even stronger start than Disc 1 started off with. I'm feeling a 9.3 on this song. Gorgeous. Oh my god, the guitar tones on this one are stunning. The textures all throughout this. Man, this shit's so layered, so dense. Incredible vocal production on this one as well. Man. This look at this. I'm not meant to be this positive towards a Beatles solo album. I'm meant to have at least like 3 songs that I think are dog shit. But no, this has been smooth sailing the whole way through. You don't get people who rate with decimals. I'm very granular. I'm very granular like that. I can... The difference between a 9.2 and a 9.3 in my mind is significant enough to the point where I have to point them out. It's just the way that my brain works. Listen, again, the numbers don't matter. The numbers... None of this shit down here actually matters, okay? It's fucking assigning a number to a song. It's the most trivial shit ever. Up next we have Apple Scruffs. Harmonica again. We're just ripping off Bob Dylan. Can I give a fake negative take so you can make the video more fun? No. I'm gonna be honest. Alright, I'll take a look at the lyrics here. Oh, sorry, the breakdown of the song. Why is he singing like someone's just like put a stick up his ass? Okay. A tribute to the most dedicated Beatles fans. Apple Scruffs was a track on, yeah, whatever. Of all Beatles, Harrison least enjoyed the trappings of fame, sorry. It was he who, on a flight to San Francisco, was heard to exclaim, "That's it, then I'm not a Beatle." Okay, so it's about him not enjoying fame. This instrumental's great. I love what the harmonica's doing. It's just the vocals on this song aren't good. I'm liking this little percussive, like almost clapping sound they got going on. I'm not too sure what that is, but it's only 2 people on this one as well. It's just George Harrison doing vocals, guitar, and harmonica, and then Mal Evans on percussion. Nice harmonies. Nice little like solo moment as well. Do I remember how George sounded on the early Beatles albums compared to this? I'm gonna be honest. I kinda don't. With the early Beatles albums, I struggle to differentiate John and George. I don't know why, but to me they have such similar voices that I sometimes have trouble differentiating the two. And I know that's just a me thing. I don't know why, but they sound so similar to me. Play Don't Bother Me after this to see. You always used to sound congested. Jesus. Listen. This song's still good. I think that's a great instrumental. I love that we're getting a harmonica-led track. That's pretty cool. A nice little solo moment in there, some nice backing harmonies. I just think the vocals kind of sound shit. It sounds like... It legit sounds like he got a fucking stick up his ass while he's trying to sing this, you know? It's a lot... It's one complaint in a song that besides that I think is good. It's like a flat 7 for me, which is still in the green. This far into the album and the lowest score we get is a 7. I think that's pretty good. Alright, I'll check out a bit of Don't Bother Me here to compare the voice.
Since she's been gone, I want no one to talk to me. It's not the same, but I'm to blame, it's plain to see.
That is quite the difference. When did the Beatles come out? This was 63, so he would have been, what, 20? Right? Okay, yeah, that's, 7 years. It's a lot of time to improve your vocals, and I think that it has shown that he's improved his vocals a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember jack shit about With the Beatles. I don't remember anything about that fucking album. Oh my god. What a secret is to a strong vocal? Sure. I used to be able to sing when I was a child. When I was a kid, I could actually... I wasn't like an amazing singer, but I could actually sing decently well. And then my voice dropped, and I got very monotone, and I can't really sing anymore. It's tragic. I've lost... I would love to be able to sing again. Sing now? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Definitely, I'm not embarrassing myself like that. Oh my god, guys, this song's named after me. The Ballad of Sir Frankie Crisp. And it's even spelled correctly. Okay? Anyone who spells it with a Y, no.
Let it roll for all it's worth. Among the weeds, let it roll.
It's about the Victorian who built George's mansion in Surrey. Surrey? I play drums.
Let it roll right through the caves.
Why Surrey of all places?
So cool and shady.
I'm joking. It's a piece of personal indulgence inspired by an eccentric lawyer from the 1800s who I have come to know by becoming the proprietor of his Victorian folly, my home. Sir Frank was also the authority on medieval gardens. Phil Spector said if I were to change the lyric, I'd have a few cover versions of the song. But those words were written because that's what it was.
Jonah Molly sweeps the stir. Eyes are shining full of inner light.
I don't get that last sentence. Yeah, that's why when I'm listening to like progressive shit, the first thing I go to is the time signature. I have thought about learning guitar. I've got a guitar just back there that I don't know how to play. I've got a thing, my fingers are like all fucked up. So it's, I tried learning it when I was younger and I like physically couldn't. It's like the same reason I can't write properly. But I want to try and learn again. Should give it a go, see if, as I've gotten older it's gotten better, so. Listen, everyone's saying this is like the best song on the album. If you don't give this a 10, I'll be shocked. I don't think it's the best song on the album. I don't think it's like a 10 out of 10 fucking masterpiece, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's, if it's any constellation, I think it's a low 9. Huh? How about that? Low 9? I feel like that's a good middle ground to reach. So, a low 9, that's still a very, very positive score because I think that song's fantastic. I just don't think it's the best song on the album up to this point or anything like that. It's great. It's still a fantastic track. I think it's lyrically one of the most interesting up to this point. He's getting a little bit self-indulgent. He's flexing a little bit. And it's a nice look into like the history of the house that he lives in. Give it a 10 because it has my name? Nuh-uh. It's one of the songs of all time. Let's leave it at that. I thought that was great. I think it's delightful. Very pretty song. That is a really nice piece of this album, especially coming after Apple Scruffs. It feels like a nice bounce back after that song. I just disagree that it's the best song on the album. Exactly. See, Chef Fail gets it. It's all about different opinions and having conversation. If we all agreed on everything, then music discussion would be the most boring shit ever. Awaiting on you all.
don't need to love it. You don't need no fake pad. You don't need a horoscope full of microscope to see the message you're in. If you open up your heart, you know what I mean. We've been polluted so long. You don't need no passport. You don't need no visa. You don't need to designate to emigrate before you can see Jesus.
Eric Clapton on this one again, cool. It's one of the most overtly religious and spiritual songs on the album, apparently. Yeah, brushing his teeth. Yeah. He's talking about like chakras and meditation. Okay, he's talking about like opening up your heart to God as well. This is a very religious song. He's trying to convert me, yeah. Yeah, I'm had to be remixed like 4 times because of Spector's crap production. I don't know if well, based on the one little bit of the original mix I've had, these remixes are doing a lot for this album. It makes it sound again just so much more natural, gives it so much more dynamic range. Makes it just sound a lot more full in my opinion, and a lot more easy on the ears as opposed to the original mix, which is, you know, kind of muddy. Waiting on You All, a nice little burst of energy sort of track. And some interesting stuff going on with the drums throughout it, sort of like a cool snare thing where it's matching what the tambourine is doing. That was pretty fun. Another great vocal performance from George on this one. I don't know, a lot of these songs are like, I kind of have similar thoughts on, where it's just like, you know, I think they're great tracks, just not really the most to say about them, because some of these songs are like very similar to each other. I don't know. It's like it's a nice religious track that I think is, you know, as someone who is not religious, I can appreciate the lyrics on this song, and I think they're actually quite sweet. This song is a low 8 for me. Spector did a great job on Let It Be. The production on Let It Be is okay. I don't think it's as good as what George Martin was doing on, like, Abbey Road, for example, but the production on Let It Be is fine. All Things Must Pass. This is the last song on the album that I've already heard. Outside of this, it is all fresh to me. Beatles harmonies would have went crazy on this.
Sunset doesn't last all evening. The mind can blow those clouds away. After all this,
Yeah, I'm very surprised at a lot of these songs that were originally intended to be Beatles tracks that didn't end up making the cut. This is just straight up a Beatles song, dude. 10 out of 10 Beatles song. Don't know about 10 out of 10, but it's a pretty incredible Beatles track. Especially if this landed on Let It Be, this would be easily one of the best songs on that album. Yeah, I'm disagreeing with a lot of these takes about this new mix. Such a gorgeous chorus. Remixes are mostly money grabs. Yeah. Yeah. But lots of remixes, those 2009 mixes of the Beatles albums, are not good. But then you get some more like I feel like a lot of the newest mixes of these albums, like this one for example, the newest Revolver mix as well. I think they are genuine. They do a lot in, you know, adding to the art, adding to the albums, adding to the experience. I am agreeing with this so far, by the way. This is making a strong case for itself that it's the best Beatles solo project. Abbey Road should have never been remixed. I don't know. The mix that I listened to was pretty incredible. Like, I think Abbey Road's one of the best produced albums of all time, and that remix, I feel like heightened it. You don't remix perfection. So there's a bit of bias in that statement, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that newest mix of Abbey Road is pretty good. All Things Must Pass, 9.6. Incredible, gorgeous song, stunning, breathtaking in every sense of the word. The fact that the Beatles didn't let this be on Let It Be is fucking ridiculous. This would be like probably the second best song on that album. Yeah, this song is the shit, as the kids would say. Re-listen in mono, not a chance in hell am I re-listening to this bullshit in mono. Up next, we're going to play a bit of the Beatles version of this song.
Sunrise doesn't last.
Oh my god. Those are some loud vocals. Wow.
A cloudburst doesn't last all day. Seems my love is up and has left you with no one.
What's my opinion on the best Beatles album? Abbey Road. Easily. Second place, Revolver.
Things must pass. All things must pass away. Sunset doesn't last all evening.
White Album? No. Not the White Album. White Album's a bit bloated.
My mind can blow those clouds.
The second disc of the White Album, I think there's a decent argument for, but that first disc, it's still great, but it's a little bloated. Abbey Road's actually the only flawless Beatles album. Yeah, I can't really pick out anything I dislike in Abbey Road. I got a lot of shit in that video for not being crazy on Come Together. I was a little too overexposed to Come Together, but then re-listening to it with the context of the rest of the album made it grow on me. I think Come Together's amazing. But yeah, the White Album, I think disc 1 of the White Album is just too bloated. But the second disc is amazing, and I think that as a package experience is pretty great. It's just not my favorite Beatles. Like, I prefer Revolver, I prefer Magical Mystery Tour, I think I'd say I prefer Sgt. Pepper's as well, and obviously Abbey Road. Up next we have I Dig Love. Yeah, I agree with this. Let's see what my top 5 Beatles albums are. Jim Carrey version of I Am the Walrus? No, but that sounds amazing. Sounds better than the Beatles version, you know what I'm saying? My top 5 Beatles albums are number 5, White Album, number 4, Sgt. Pepper's, number 3, Magical Mystery Tour, number 2, Revolver, and then number 1, Abbey Road. Those are my top 5. It's not by a lot that I prefer Sgt. Pepper, it's only a little bit. Put more respect on Ringo as well. I've never said I don't like Ringo. I just say he's a bit overrated, okay? I think best drummer of all time is a spot of glazing. I still think he's good though. I don't know why everything has to be extremes. I don't know why it has to be best drummer or worst drummer. Why can't I be in the middle and just say he's good, just not the best? Favorite album ever? It's a good choice. This album's pretty great so far. Sgt. Pepper's Slander. I still think Sgt. Pepper's great. I just don't think it's like the greatest album ever. You hate this song? I mean, this is easily the weakest so far, but I don't hate it. This track's just kind of boring. It's not really going anywhere. It's just kind of, you know, dancing around the same idea, but not really feeling like it's fully committing. This album's such a drag. Listen, I listen to albums that are drags. Okay, go watch my Glowing Man video. There's like a 30-minute song on that album, and it's like my favorite song ever. You know. All I do is listen to music that meanders. Okay, I listen to shit that drags. Pet Sounds is better, but Sgt. Pepper's is an achievement. I mean, yeah, Pet Sounds is like a masterpiece. Pet Sounds is like one of the best albums of the 60s. The Drag King, there you go. This bit's kind of cute. I think this is just the most consistent of the Beatles solo projects. It's the most easy listening Beatles solo project. And I'm impressed that we are 15 songs in and there's not even been a single track that I can say is a miss. On every other Beatles solo album, there would be at least one song by now that I wouldn't like, but we've not gotten a single one so far. This is definitely a miss. I don't know. I'm finding this to be okay. I don't hate it. It's just, it feels like they could be committing a little bit more to the ideas on this song, and they could be maybe taking it in some more interesting directions. There's a great song underneath this, it's just that they haven't really committed. It feels like there's a little bit of a lack of confidence on this one. But still, I think it's fine. Yeah, this album's fucking flown by. I've been recording for an hour and 45 minutes, and it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, it's an okay song. I Dig Love, weakest song on the album up to this point. It's fine. It's whatever. It's okay. 6.5. Whatever. Still in the positive. I just think it's a boring song. It meanders a little bit. The song's fine. It's got some cute moments. It's whatever. This song's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Middle of the road. Okay, you fuckers are distracting me with your mathematical equations. Okay, look at who plays on the next song. This better be is this the one with Phil Collins? I'm gonna guess this is the one with Phil Collins with how much you're hyping this shit up. Art of Dying. Yep, Phil Collins. George Harrison, Eric Clapton, Carl Raddle, Bobby Whitlock, Gary Wright, Billy Preston, Jim Price, Bobby Keys, Jim Gordon, and Phil Collins. That is a lineup right there. That is a lineup. Yeah, Art of Dying. Oh, damn. That was written in 66. Holy shit, okay. What a pickup in the pace, oh my god. These drums as well, you hear how thick and resonant those toms sound? Sound great. Like a song that film Band on the Run. I feel like this kind of surpasses Band on the Run. Exactly, this one's very funky. Nice. I'm guessing this is Eric Clapton doing the lead guitar on this one. Actually, tell me if he's doing lead or rhythm. Yep, Eric Clapton's doing lead guitar on this one. Yeah, you can tell, it just sounds so different to the way George Harrison plays guitar, yeah. Very 60s, this one feels kind of forward-thinking to me. Exclamation mark winner, yeah. Oh, look at that. See, Ryan Cage subscribed. You lot should do the same. Art of Dying, the best song since My Sweet Lord. That song's a 10. Holy shit. I mean, talk about a bounce back. Oh my god. Fantano quaking in his boot. Does Fantano not like this? Clapton stole George's girlfriend? Wait, really? 2 great songs about came out of both of them? Jesus. Anyway, Art of Dying. Second best song on the... maybe even the best. I might like it a little bit more than My Sweet Lord. This song is just so funky. It's so high energy. This song is so packed. It's so densely layered. Oh my god. Are you hearing how much shit is going on in this song? There is just so many intricate production details, so many instrumental passages that are like going on top of each other. It creates like this beautiful collage of sounds essentially on this song. That shit was a masterpiece. Yeah, 7 minutes worth of music in 3 minutes. Yeah, that song is better than most songs on Violator. What, Depeche Mode Violator? I don't know. Violator is like one of my favorite albums ever made. And I just listened to that song for the first time, so I can tell you. Read some info on the song. Yeah, we'll look at this a little bit. Art of Dying was written by George Harrison in 1966. The song is believed to have been written in as early as the summer of 60. I don't know why it says that twice. When the Beatles were leaving behind their performance and moving on to their next phase of the more elaborate recording, their own creative rebirth. Art of Dying expressed Harrison's desire at that time to move beyond fame and seek out a greater meaning in life. I see. Ah, the art of dying. I guess dying in a public in the public eye, the public perception, I guess is what that means. And making art out of it. I see. Cool. Consistency? Yeah, this is a consistent ass album. Like, the lowest score I've given is a 6.5, and normally the lowest score I'd give to a Beatles solo album is like a 3. Up next we have Isn't It a Pity? You can't compare Violator to this album. It's a fucking like synth pop gothic rock album. They aren't different things.
Some things take so long.
That's right. I still don't like Monkberry Moon Delight. I'm sorry, guys. Monkberry's just a bit too silly for me. It's a bit much. Like, I listen to the song and it just kind of gets on my nerves, you know? Like, I'm all for silly music, you know? I like Ween, I like Primus, you know, bands like that, but I feel like with that McCartney album, it just strays a bit too much and it gets to the point where it just kind of gives me a headache. The song's just not for me. Ooh. Damn. Wow. I don't know. Isn't It a Pity Part 2? Oh, well, version 2, sorry, not Part 2. Really solid, but not as good as version 1. I prefer how lengthy and how just vast version 1 was. I love its, again, repetitive outro that it goes for, that lasts a couple of minutes. And I think there's just some instrumental intricacies in that one that I kind of preferred to this one on the whole. This one's still I think it's still a great piece. It just wasn't needed. So it's a flat 8 for me. I still think it's great, but it's an unnecessary piece of the puzzle, but still a good piece of the puzzle, you know? It's still great. I just wouldn't choose to listen to it over version 1. Hear Me Lord. Yeah, I should do what most people do, where I do a video on every single song. Yeah.
Forgive me, Lord, please, those years when I ignored you. Rise above this feeling.
the fuck is playing on this one? This one sounds incredible. On this track, we have George Harrison, Eric Clapton, Carl Radle, Gary Wright, Bobby Whitlock, Billy Preston, Jim Price, Bobby Keys, and Jim Gordon. Nice. It's one of the most powerful vocal performances on the entire album, easily. Hear Me Lord is perhaps the most openly emotional song on All Things Must Pass, a naked plea to the creator for forgiveness and assistance to cope and love and find direction. Proof where it needed that John Lennon was not the only former Beatle in 1970 buried his soul in song. Yeah. Harrison attempted to interest the Beatles in Hear Me Lord during the Get Back Let It Be sessions. Harrison said, I wrote a gospel song over the weekend, lads. Lennon said, according to Saint Who. Harrison, according to the Lord, Hear Me Lord. Definitely not. That ELO vid has me nearly falling asleep in it. Definitely not. I was just miserable. Hear Me Lord! Yeah, if this is meant to be, I guess, the technical closer for the album, it does a fantastic job of that. This song is the grandest moment on the entire album. It has the most, like, big, sweeping back in harmonies. It has the most, like, glorious lyrics on the whole album. Just asking to be heard by the Lord, asking to be forgiven of his sins, and asking, you know, at the beginning of this the song, he's saying here, "Forgive me for those years where I ignored you" and stuff. Again, I kind of like that this album is a blend of response to the Beatles, as well as sort of being him reconnecting with the religious side of himself. It's a nice combination of themes that I think tie together pretty well. It sort of feels like now that he has been freed from the restraints of the Beatles, he's able to connect with a side of himself that he kind of lost over that period of his life, as well as feel more creatively free as well. Yeah. This song is fantastic. High 9. Now here's the question. I'm gonna put a poll up in the chat. I need you people to vote. I'm gonna listen to it regardless, but should it count towards the score? Cast your votes. All right. I will add up the overall score for the album now, and then I'm going to include disc 3 as part of this and part of the video as well, but none of these songs will count towards the overall score of the album. Okay, my score for this album would be an 8.9, but I'm going to round it up to a flat 9. Round it up to a flat 9. I think this is, by a fucking landslide, the best Beatles solo project. Oh my god, this album's good. Yeah, it's not close. This album, I think, is incredible. Such a fantastic, consistent, delightful, emotional, impactful, insanely well-produced album. All of the collaborators that he brought in for this album just fleshed this out so well. Again, all of these songs just feel so densely packed, and like they all bring something new to the table that keeps it sounding fresh, that keeps it sounding interesting, and that keeps my attention across what is now over 2 hours of recording. This album is wonderful. Seriously, it's great. Lives up to the hype, absolutely. I went into this thing with high expectations, but worried that I would end up thinking it's overrated. But no, people hype this thing up for good reason. This is like, I need you guys to know, this is the same score I gave Revolver. I think this album is as good as Revolver. Incredible. Round of applause from me. The sound's fantastic, amazing. Anyway, now let's move into disc 3. These are not going to count, but I will count up I'm going to count up what the score would be had I included these towards the score as well, just in case. Out of the blue. Ah, this is the 11-minute one. I see. I see. This better be good. George Go in Prague. Saxophone? Okay. Paul solo stuff does nothing for you? Paul solo stuff is kind of I don't know, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Has some great albums, has some weak albums. Same with George. Oh, sorry, same with John Lennon, sorry. This is the only George album I've heard. Ooh, those keys sound great. Wow. I like that they're getting a bit heavier for this longer track. Saxophone sounds incredible. I mean, I'm liking this still, but it's gonna need to switch up at some point. I appreciate the way it's building, but I don't know. Why is it 11 minutes? Yeah. If it has a solid switch up, then sure. It just kind of feels like them flexing production. You know? It's alright. Sounds amazing, you know? Production's still incredible. I feel like all of the instruments themselves are blended masterfully, but I don't know. Listen, I've heard a lot of long music, okay? A lot of what I get sent in is like 14-minute fucking prog metal tracks. And to make a long song, like an 11-minute track, you have to have 11 minutes worth of ideas. And we've got maybe 3 minutes worth of ideas that I'm seeing here. King Gizzard can jam better than this. Again, not comparable, but it's true. It's keeping my attention, it's keeping me moving. I think it's solid. These are jams that happen naturally while recording the album. They decided it was too good not to be released. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, here we go. Here's why I need to hate this, because this is the reason Oasis exists. That's disgusting. I hate Oasis. Oh, the piano's kind of going crazy on the left there. Hey. You know what this song needs? This song is begging to be more jazzy. This song is begging to be more jazzy. Make it a little more swung. Hell, maybe even make it in like an odd time signature. Just make this more jazzy and I think it would be more interesting. The fact that they're, you know, sticking to making it sound a lot more like the rest of the album just kind of makes it sound a little uninteresting by comparison. Oh, for fuck's sake, I swear to God, if Be Here Now... Okay, it's just the top 50. Hold on. Ramones, Notorious B.I.G. W, Big W. Big W. I've heard a couple songs off of this, they're amazing. Songs I've heard off of this are amazing. No. No. Not heard this. Not heard this. Not heard this. Got some interesting picks. Interesting picks. Deserved. Definitely deserved. Let's be honest with ourselves here. No. What the fuck do you mean underrated? Everyone loves the Strokes. Absolutely. Yeah, where's the Doors? Yeah, the picks are very random. Yeah, the Cardi B debut at the number 20. PJ Harvey, Never Mind the Bollocks. The Pretenders, Fiona Apple, DMX. There we go, Zeppelin. Sure. College Dropout. Illmatic, Absolute. Of all time, 39 best debut. Bad Bunny. Yep, deserved, great album. Could maybe even land a bit higher. Incredible. It's very low. No, this album's overrated. This album's overrated. Out of the Blue. I mean, it started off fun, but then I just lost all interest. 6.2. Honestly, lower it to like a high 5. I'd give that a high 5. 2 out of 10 coming up. Yeah. Yeah, that song, listen, if you want to make a big long track like that, you got to have, if you want an 11-minute song, you need 11 minutes worth of material, and that song had maybe like 3 or 4. It just got to the point where I was more interested in a Rolling Stones list than the song. That's how tedious that track got. Yeah. High 5. Easily the weakest piece of the puzzle up to this point. And that sucks because I like longer music as well. It's Johnny's birthday.
It's a life to wish him all the very best. It's Johnny's birthday. It's Johnny's birthday. And it's so nice to have you back to be our guest. And Johnny's birthday. And Johnny's birthday. It's so good to have you back from off the shelf. And it's so good to have you back from off the shelf.
Great transition. I'll give it that. Listen, it's been the case with every Beatles solo album. There's always one 3 out of 10 song. I rest my case. Moving on. Plug me in. The Beatles always had intro songs to have fun, and those were very 50-50 for me. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. George left a while ago and just left the musicians playing. Whatever. Had me move into it. Sure. Fine. Low 6. So, I got nothing to say about that shit. It's just an okay instrumental. Would be nice to have had that on an actual song, you know? I remember... Oh, for fuck's sake. 8 minutes. I remember Jeep. Number 9. Jeep was the name of Clapton's Weimaraner dog, and also appeared on the sleeve of his 1071 hit single Layla, and on the 1975 album there's One in Every Crowd. Clapton later said that he let Jeep and his golden retriever Sunshine crap in the house because you were too stoned to clear it up. Jeep was actually Ari's dog, a funny kind of orangey brown dog with pink tires. I think he might have kicked it, I'm sure he has by now, but I know it was his dog. Alright. You know, it would make sense for me to call this song dog shit, because it's about them being too stoned to clean up dog shit, you know? I don't hate bonus songs. I think there are albums that have great bonus songs. Songs in the Key of Life, for example. Real experimental shit right here, guys. Oh, the claps? Wow. Where's the cowbells? That's what I'm saying. They should need some cowbells. Yep, this would fucking tank the album score, dude. Holy shit, these bonus tracks are rough. Feels like they're trying to do like a kind of 50s thing here. It's not really coming together. Song will be a 10 with a cowbell. There you go. Yeah, it's a fall off from Revolution 9. This is so creative to what a waste of disk space. In what universe does this warrant 8 minutes? Very goofy synth indeed. I listened to the demos after. They're 2 songs that weren't included and are very short. Sure. It's the worst command ever. That is the worst command. I hate it so much. Why do I hate it? Because look at it. Look at that shit. That is like the worst sentence imaginable. With the fucking emojis as well. I wonder, did Ringo play on this one? No, oh, Ginger Baker? This is Ginger Baker on drums? Oh my god, stop it with the commands, holy shit. Yo. That was fucking terrible. Oh my god. A blues jam that does nothing, goes nowhere, does it? It can't, it's not even entertaining. You got fucking Ginger Baker on there and even he's not doing anything interesting on this song. Fucking hell, man. What? I'm glad that this third disc doesn't count towards the album because this would tank. Last song, Thanks for Pepperoni. I remember Jeep versus Jamaican Jerkoff. Wow. So that's a matchup to end all matchups right there. Yeah, it sounds very 50s. This is okay. It's fine. I don't hate this. The demos in the playlist? Cool, thanks. Yo, check out the demos after this. This is the best song on this final disc. I'll give it that. Still nothing special, you know? 6.5. It's a decent jam. It's fun enough. Had me moving, has some interesting ideas, but... Oh god, this shit is just... I don't know. I've not got anything to say, dude. doing an okay job, you know, sort of going for that 50s rock and roll sound. It does it fine. Thoughts on Pepperoni? Pepperoni's not my cup of tea. And that, ladies and gentlemen, the final disc of this album is fucking horrendous. Oh my god. In fact, hold on. I need to figure out what my score for this final disc is before I start yapping. I completely forgot that that's even a thing I need to do. Yeah, it's a 5 out of 10. So if I had 9.1, divide that by 3, it would this would have brought the album score down to a 7.5. That's quite the drastic change. Yeah, thankfully we aren't counting these. Without the jams, which, you know, I didn't count them, the album's a flat 9 out of 10. Yeah, addressing the elephant in the room, these final 5 songs that are on disc 3 stink, bad, not good, atrocious, abysmal, dog shit. We might as well just forget they're here because I'm not going to talk about them in this final section. This album is delightful. It is easily, handily the best Beatles solo project in terms of production, in terms of songwriting, in terms of actual just writing itself, in terms of performances, in terms of consistency, in terms of basically everything imaginable. This is the best Beatles solo album by a decent margin. I think that this album is just such a fantastic crop of tracks that doesn't get boring, that doesn't at any point feel like it falters at all. Even on the songs that I'm not crazy on, like I Dig Love, I still think decent enough, sweet enough tracks that I would not skip if I'm listening to the album front to back. This really is just such a incredibly crafted project that as a whole experience, as a whole album experience, I can't really pick out any flaws. This is a truly special album. I can see what people see in this, absolutely. I think it lives up to the hype. I think that George Harrison really showcased here how he was underutilized in the Beatles. This album is him saying, look at what we could have had if you guys had just let me do my thing a bit more. And he was able to create an absolute masterpiece here. Yeah, I think this album is as good as Revolver, to put that into perspective. It has the same score for me as Revolver, which is at a flat 9. Yeah, sounds good. It's great. It's fantastic. The flow is incredible. The songs are incredible. Everything on this is just top notch. I am more than impressed. Alright, we got some bonus songs here. I got some demos that we can check out.
I'm waiting in the queue to go to the Cosmic Empire.
Disc 3 felt longer than Disc 1 and 2 together, yeah. And I was only talking about it for like half an hour as well. That probably was a bit longer than that. It's actually kind of sweet.
To where our souls
I
are
like this.
filled with joy. Can't resist the
Nice. Cool. Pretty little demo. Actually, a very sweet. That demo is better than the finished songs that made it onto the Apple Jam. I give that like a solid 7. It was cute. It was sweet. Just a nice song of him, you know, just playing about on his acoustic guitar, and singing a happy little tune. I don't know. It's good. It's cute. Whatever. Cool. Window.
I once knew a beautiful girl who had long blonde hair and a curl, but then it was such that I knew far too much. Now I stay home and slowly unwind, and I look out the window and see. Look out the window and see.
look out the window and see, but I get the feeling it doesn't.
It's insane that these fucking demos are better than like the third disc. This one as well. It's not like the most mind-blowing thing in the world. It's just a sweet acoustic guitar track.
Go for a walk in the shed
Sounds pleasant.
and check out the paint and the lead.
Again, same as the last one. It's a pretty sweet acoustic track. I don't know. It's just nice. It's cozy. It's fun. It's like a low 7. It's good. It's good. It's better than any of the shit on disc 3. All right. Final song we're going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in, buckle up. I live for you. We're almost done. Home stretch.
Yes, it's true. I live for you. Not a thing in this world do I own. It's true. I live for you. Through many
I don't really care about the finished version. I think this demo sounds nice as it is. I like the more rough and tumble sound that this one has.
many days.
Do I think George abuses slide guitars that sound good to me? I don't think it sounds good. I don't even notice. Start the video with a disclaimer that I have insomnia. There you go.
Wait in line till I
Alright, again, it's good. It's sweet. I like the rough and tumble sound of that. I think it's a very pretty little demo for this song. I give it a high 7. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hours, I'm done with this album. All things must pass. What a journey. What a journey, okay? All of this bonus shit, you know, it certainly exists. But the main album is incredible. The main album is gorgeous. It's stunning. I'm definitely going to be coming back to this a decent amount. And yeah, I'm just very glad to have finally gotten to this. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this album down below. Do you think it's overrated? Do you think it lives up to the hype? How does it compare to other Beatles solo albums for you? Thank you again, of course, to Chivo for editing this video. He has done all of the most recent Beatles albums, all of the Beatles solo albums, and is going to be continuing to do them going down the line, so I greatly appreciate it. Links in the description to my Discord, my Album of the Year, my Twitter, and my other channels. Check those out if you haven't. Like and sub if you haven't. As of when I'm recording this, we're very, very close to 2K, and we will have passed it by the time you're seeing this. So, you know, help us get to 3K. And yeah, I will see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye-bye.